ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। Reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, Chapter 7, Text 23. गीता है, इधर ले सकते हैं आपने, नीचे वो आसन बिछा कर रखो, पैर क्यों से बैठते हैं, यहाँ गीता रखा है, ले लो आपने, और यहाँ आसन रखा है, ले लो पैर के नीचे रखने के लिए। नीचे क्यों बैठा? ओके। अंतवंतो फलम तेषां तद्भवति अल्पमेधसां देवान् देवयजो जानति मद्भक्ता जानति मामपि। वर्ड मीनिंग: अंतवत पेरिशेबल, तू but, phalam fruit, tesam there, tat that, bhavati becomes, alpamedhasam of those of small intelligence, devan to the demigods, deva yajah the worshipper of demigods, yanti go, mat mai, bhaktaha devotees, janti go, mam to me, api also. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ji ki jai. Men of small intelligence worship the demigods and their fruits are limited and temporary. Those who worship the demigods go to the planets of the demigods, but my devotees ultimately reach my supreme planet. Purport. Some commentators on the Bhagavad Gita say that one who worships a demigod can reach the Supreme Lord. But here it is clearly stated that the worshippers of demigods go to the different planetary systems where various demigods are situated. Just as a worshipper of the sun achieves the sun, or worshipper of the demigod of the moon achieves the moon. Similarly, if anyone wants to worship a demigod like Indra, he can attain that particular god's planet. It is not that everyone, regardless of whatever demigod is worshipped, will reach the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is denied here. For it is clearly stated that the worshipper of demigods go to different planets in the material world. But the devotee of the Supreme Lord goes directly to the Supreme Planet of Personality of Godhead. Here the point may be raised that if the demigods are different parts of the body of the Supreme Lord, then the same end should be achieved by worshipping them. However, worshippers of the demigods are less intelligent because they don't know to what part of the body food should be supplied. Some of them are so foolish that they claim that there are many parts and many ways to supply food. This is not very sanguine, genuine. Can anyone supply food to the body through the ears or eyes? They do not know what these demigods are different, that these demigods are different parts of the universal body of the Supreme Lord, and in their ignorance they believe that each and every demigod is a separate god and a competitor of the Supreme Lord. Not only are the demigods are part of the Supreme Lord, but ordinary living entities are also. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated that the Brahmanas are the head of the Supreme Lord, and the Kshatriyas are his arms, and the Vaishyas are his waist, and Shudras are his legs, and all serve different functions. Regardless of the situations, if one knows that both the demigods and he himself are part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, his knowledge is perfect. But if he does not understand this, he achieves the different planets where the demigods reside. This is not the same destination the devotee reaches. The results achieved by the demigods' benedictions are perishable, because within this material world, the planets, the demigods are there. In this material world, the planets, the demigods and their worshippers are all perishable. Therefore, it is clearly stated in this verse that all results achieved by worshipping demigods are perishable. And therefore, such worship is performed by the less intelligent living entity. Because the pure devotee engaged in Krishna consciousness in devotional service of the Supreme Lord achieves eternal blissful existence that is full of knowledge. His achievements and those of the common worshipper of the demigods are different. The Supreme Lord is unlimited, His favor is unlimited, His mercy is unlimited. Therefore, the mercy of the Supreme Lord upon His pure devotees is also unlimited. Om Ajnanam Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakyurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manohishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayham Dadati Swapadantikam Vande Aham Sri Guru Sri Jutapadakamala Sri Gurun Vaishnavans Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahaganam Raghunatham Nitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakha Nitam Sa Namong Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. So, here in this particular verse, Krishna is telling about the result that the different worshippers they get. In the previous verse, he told that those people they were worshipping different demigods according to their different wishes, and whatever the benefit or benedictions they are getting, these are all arranged by the Lord only. Maeva vihitan hitan. So, according to their faith, they accept different demigods and worship them. So, the faith and the method and the benediction, everything is arranged by the Supreme Lord. So then, and also it is said that the demigods are part and parcels of the Lord. So then if somebody worships demigod and if somebody worships Lord, why the result is different? If they are part of the Lord only, and Lord only arranging everything for the demigods also, their faith, their benedictions, everything He is arranging only. So why, so some people may question that Lord is doing partiality, that His followers, His worshippers are getting eternal benefit and these demigods they are not getting. They are also worshipping demigods anyway. So demigods are part of the Lord only. So if somebody asks like that, then the Lord is giving answer to this. No, it is not like that. Because the demigod worshippers, what they ask, that is temporary. What desire they have, that desire itself is temporary. Why? Because they are asking demigods. Demigods are temporary. They are not eternal. Demigods they themselves are not eternal. And whatever they want from them, that is also not eternal. So how they will get eternal benefit? Now why from? Now because I myself is eternal, and whatever I will give is eternal also. But I am not giving anything temporary. So that's why there is difference between demigod worshippers and my worshippers. Because this is the general rule. If you follow somebody, if you worship somebody, then you will go to him. So the demigod worshippers, they will go to their planets, the different demigod, they will go to their particular planet. And if somebody worship me, they will come to me. So then why you are telling them they are alpamedhasa, they are less intelligent? Because they are not thinking that I am worshipping demigod and I am getting only perishable product and temporary benefit. And they, even if I am there, so they are not coming to me. I am eternal. All my benedictions are eternal. Without coming to me and taking the faith and all the requirements from me, they want to worship the demigod. So okay, then if you want to worship him, then worship him, no problem. Then whatever he is, wherever he is staying, everything, then he will go to him only. It's very clear. In the beginning of the purport, Prabhupada is mentioning one point that some commentators, especially in Bengal and many parts of India, there is a very common notion, jato mat tato pat. Whatever mat you have, ultimately will go to the same place. So that they are thinking that whatever do you worship Devi, Deva, this, that, whatever, ultimately you want God, you have to reach there only. And you worship. So here in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is also denying. So Prabhupada bringing this point out in the beginning of his purport, that many commentators, they say like that, even if you worship any demigod, you will achieve the same result. No. You cannot go to Lord by worshipping demigod. It is very common. If you purchase a ticket to go to Calcutta, you cannot reach in Bombay. If you catch a train which is going to Mumbai, how you can reach in Calcutta? It's not possible. So, very similar. If you worship demigods, then you go to this demigod only. And whatever he gives, you will get that. And the demigod himself is temporary, and all his benedictions are temporary. Though the demigod is a part of me, and whatever he is giving, that also is taking from me. He has not given anything separate. He doesn't have that power. Whatever he will give, everything is from me only. but without taking from me, you are taking from him. So he is temporary, he is giving certain temporary, so that's why you don't have proper knowledge, intelligence. Actually, previous verse he said, tang tang niyamastha prapadante anya devata, maya, those intelligence are carried out by Maya. They are worshipping demigods. And here it is saying demigod worship results, they are alpha, little intelligence, small intelligence they have. And another place, in this section I think Krishna will tell, that those who are denying, they have no intelligence. They are less intelligence, they have no intelligence. Those who are not accepting Krishna as Lord, they are totally unintelligent. They have no intelligence. So, another point Prabhupada is making, see somebody say, why at least they are worshipping with faith and with paraphernalia, but demigod worship is not that easy. Demigod worship, you have to, in their particular day, particular tithi, and their particular paraphernalia, and you have to do sometime fasting, like Navaratra and all that, severe austerities. It is not that easy to please demigods. It is big tapasya. And rather, worship to Supreme Lord, it is not that difficult. Yeah. Comparatively to demigod worship, it is very easy. Yeah. And those who are asuras like Ravana, Hiranyakasipu, and so they have gone through severe austerities and they are worshipping only demigod. Severe austerities. But those who are follower of Lord, they are not going through that severe austerities. But still, they want to take this hard job, hard labor, to worship, to please demigod, but they don't want to worship Lord. So they, how can they get the same result? Not possible. And he is making this point that though they are the part of the Supreme Lord, they are the part, okay, part. Suppose we are having our body, and we have many organs in our body, like eyes, ears, mouth, nose, many organs, many holes are there. So if we want to eat something, can we eat through eyes or ears or nose or something like that? Though there is also whole way to body, no, we cannot. Only particular, decided only by mouth. So like that, if you want to really get satisfaction, eternal benefit, then you have to worship only the particular Lord, that is Supreme Lord. So that's why it is abhidhi. If you put your food through your other organs, that is abhidhi. You will get trouble. So the only vidhi is to worship the Supreme Lord. That is vidhi. And if somebody is not worshipping Supreme Lord, that means he is not properly intelligent. He doesn't know what to do. So, antavantu phalam tesam. So, though the worshippers are worshipping standard is same, following all the rituals and paraphernalias and going through all this tapasya, everything is, this worshipper is doing all these things. But because his goal, the worshipping authority to whom he is worshipping, he himself is temporary. That's why he has to go to the temporary place, to the same demigod planet to whom he is worshipping with faith. He has to go there only. So, by this verse, we can clearly understand that it is not the same that to whom you are worship, no matter whatever faith, whatever interest you have, if you cannot get the same result. Result will be different. Worship method may be same, but to whom you are worshipping, according to that you will get result. So worshipper is same, paraphernalia is same, method is same, faith, everything is same, but to whom you are worshipping, that is to be counted. To whom you are worshipping, that you will get. Very common understanding. The train will be same, the ticket collector will be same, berth will be same, or facilities will be same, everything will be same, but to where you have purchased ticket, what is your destination? So there will end. You will end there only. Yes, same facility, train journey and whatever night journey or day journey, whatever comfortable facilities, everything, buying ticket, everything same. You go stand in a queue and you fill up same form and name, everything. But only difference that you put in destination place, without putting Delhi, you put Mumbai. Only mistake you done. But everything same. You stand in the same time, in the same queue and fill up the form and pay the whatever fees, everything. But only you have put in the blank of destination, you put something wrong. So then everything will wrong. You will catch a different train and your destination you have to go there only. That's it. So same thing here. So why now? Because they are alpabudi, this less intelligent. How can he fill up the form? The destination is wrong. Now everything is same. He want to worship with full faith, everything. But to whom you worship, the destination is wrong. You want to worship demigods. And then you will end at demigods. Forget. You may go to the same station and stand in a queue, purchase ticket, but if you put the destination somewhere else, so that destination you will reach only. The same train they will put you and you will go there only. So that is not proper intelligence. If you are going through the same process, then why not get the full result? If you are going through the train and purchasing ticket, everything you are accepting, then get the best result of it. The best eternal blissful result is to worship the demigods. If somebody is not doing that, then they cannot be considered as the proper intelligent person. So that's a alpamedhasam. Alpamedhasam means less intelligent. Why you are telling them less intelligent? Because they are getting a temporary result. Antavantu phalam tesam. This verse is just after the demigod worshippers. The Krishna is telling, according to their faith, so they are worshipping different demigods. And this particular verse is saying, according to their worship to the particular demigod, they will end in their planet only. And they will get temporary result. Antavantu. Though they are worshipping with faith and everything, but they will not get the same result. They will get temporary result, and those who are worshipping me, they will come to me and will get permanent result. So here particularly Krishna wants to very clearly tell that there is difference between demigod and him. Demigod and Supreme Lord, they are totally different. Though the demigods are part of the Krishna, they cannot exist without the Lord. They are part and parcel. Even all the living entities are part and parcel. Everybody is part and parcel. Without Krishna, we don't have any existence. So we are all fully dependent upon Him. But still, we have our separate identity. God is separate, different individual. Everybody has their individuality. So, though all the demigods are different department head and parts of the Supreme Lord, but still they have their different separate planet. They have their particular planet to manage their things. And if you go to them, then you will end with them only. So, that's why it's Alpamedhasam. Because their goal is temporary. their thinking is temporary, their understanding is temporary. Why temporary? Because they are accepting demigods. Demigod himself is temporary. Demigods are not eternal. Somebody may argue, if Supreme Lord is eternal, so all his parts are not eternal? Yes, parts are eternal. Parts are all eternal, but if they are remain with Supreme Lord as a part and parcel, that is perfect understanding. Then that is okay. If they understand the demigod separate from Krishna, that is the problem. Here the demigod worshippers, they commonly, generally they worship the demigods thinking that this demigod is a separate God. He is not the Supreme, he is Supreme Lord also, he is also Supreme Lord. He is also, like sometimes they in a competition. Yes, Krishna has that power, but Devi also much more power. Hey, our Ganapati also, our Shiva. So they are thinking that their worshipable God is powerful and is a competitor of the Supreme Lord. So in this thinking, if they will worship with faith with full faith to a particular demigod, they will end in this particular demigod planet with him only. But if they accept the Supreme Lord is fully eternal, Sachidananda, and all these demigods are part and parcel of him, and in the same understanding, if they worship that I am worshipping not a separate God, I am worshipping this demigod through whom I am going to worship the Lord. This is through proper channel. This is demigod, he is the via media, and through him I will approach to the Supreme. Then that is all right, that's perfect. In this way you can worship demigods and you will get eternal result, there is no doubt. But if the method is pakka, just like we want to go to meet the big boss, is the director of the institute, so you cannot get your job done through a chokidar or through a clerk or through some assistant, nothing. You have to go to the officer, but you cannot go to him directly. If you can go to directly, like here, Krishna is all accessible, he is accepting everybody, anybody can directly approach him, worship him and go to him. Okay, if you cannot, then you go through some demigods, you know that he is very near and dear, he is very responsible, okay, then you go to that demigod, but the goal should be to please and to reach out to the Supreme Lord. Then that's all right. You are going through proper channel. Just like somebody may argue, if you are saying demigod worship is very bad, if you worship demigod, then you will go to demigod planet, and that is less intelligent, and they are temporary. So then we are seeing in Vrindavan, the Braj Gopikas, including Radharani, they were worshipping severely for 1 month, the last month, a whole Margasir month. They worship to Katyayani Devi. Katyayani Devi demigoddess. So how they worship Katyayani Vrata for a month? Okay, they worship Katyayani Devi, I agree, but why they are worshipping Katyayani Devi? Why? They mantra they were worshipping, every paraphernalia they were worshipping, offering to Devi with the same mantra, Katyayani Mahamai, Mahajogini Adhishwari, Nanda Gopa Sutang Devi Pating Me Kurute Mama. Oh Katyayani Mahajogini Devi, please help me that I should get the son of Nanda as my husband. That is the goal. So for that no problem. You can go to any Deva, Devi, whatever you go. So what Devi Deva, any person also. Prabhuji, can you help me? Prabhuji, can I get something, can you help me in some regard, somehow or other, I want to please Krishna, I want to serve Krishna, I want to do devotional service to Krishna, can you help me? Yes, for Krishna's purpose you can take anybody's help. Anybody, those who are able, they can guide you, help you, you can help. those who are. So the demigods are the some head of the departments of Krishna's management. So they know, they are definitely far better than us. So if you can approach them, you can request them and worship them, respect them, not for accepting them as the Supreme Lord, but they are the nearer and dearer to Krishna, so they can help us to reach out to Krishna, then that is proper. In this way, if you can worship them, then you will get permanent result. It is not, it is eternal, you will not get temporary anything. But if you think themselves as separate, some different Godhead, that is problem. That is the problem. So that's why Krishna is telling there are different worshippers we are seeing. Some worships me, some worships their forefathers, some worships Bhuta Pret, some worships demigod, some worships Ganapati, Shiva, Surya Bhagavan, Shiv Bhagavan, Jai Mata Di, and different way. In India, if you go to some public Hindu temple, there is a marketplace. There are mela of different. You go to some Gita Bhavan or some place, yes, Narayana is there, Radha Krishna is there, Sitaram is there. They are in batch, just like if you go to Loy market, some cloth shops are there, then some stationery shops are there, then some sabji shops are there. Some, they have different market. This sabji market, it's a cloth market, stationery market, this is a different market. So like that, if you go to this proper Hindu temple, they have market. This is like Rama, Lakshmana, Narayana, this, that. This is Ganapati, Shiva Parivar, Ganapati, Kartikeya, Durgaji, Shivji, and then here all the Navagrahas are there, and Devis, Navamatrukas are there, Kali, Chamunda, Bhadrakali, this, that. So all are there. So according to your faith, you can go. Sometimes I see some Matajis, they used to go to each. So 30, 40, 50, so they will go everywhere and do something, throw something like that. Khichdi, not figure out. They will think, he is my person. Oh no, he went there. He is not my party. He is not up to my party. Whose party you belong to? Baba, tell me. What is it? It is not decided. You can't decide where they are going. And going everybody, okay, everybody is just like if you go to Jagannath Puri, a very famous temple, very old temple. If you go to Jagannath Puri, inside the temple, the main shrine, the main temple, inside this only Jagannath Baladev Subhadra is there. No other demigods are there. Only Jagannath Baladev. And if you go around the temple, then all demigods temples they have. Ganapati, Shiva, many Lakshmi, Vimala, everybody is there. Why? Because he is in the center. Krishna is in center, he is the owner, he is the proprietor, he is the enjoyer, he is the man, and they are all the parts and parcel. So like that we can understand. But not the everybody is similar temple, main temple in places, no. This understanding is different. So many commentators, many so-called philosophers, they have this understanding. That's why Prabhupada is telling, many commentators are thinking like that. And they themselves are bewildered, and they are bewildering others also. Okay, no problem. You are worshipping Ganapati. Oh, Ganapati, yes, I will come and worship Ganapati. Puja is famous, this, that. They are accepting Ganapati as a Supreme Lord. Somebody, if you worship Durgaji, yes. Devi Bhagavad, Devi Puja, oh, great. If you are Sunny Dev, in Brazil also, Sunny temple, thousands of people will come in Saturday, you go there. Hare, from Delhi, Punjab, Haryana, Sanishwara Puja. Krishna has no demand there. All demand by Sunny Dev. Yeah. So like that, these people are considered as less intelligent, Alpamedhasam. They don't have it. They are coming to Vrindavan and worshipping Sunny. Oh, such a unfortunate, less intelligent people. They don't know who Sunny is and what relation he has with Krishna, who is Krishna. They don't have any understanding. They are saying, oh, Sunny is very powerful. He is Mahagraha. So this is that very little understanding, little knowledge they have. So that's why they are asking for the temporary things, because they are foolish. But those who have some understanding, the knowledge, they know who is the big boss, who are the assistants, who are the second-hand assistants. So like that, they will approach in proper way. Even they will approach to the assistant, they will approach to approach the boss. They approach the assistant just to approach the boss, not to please the assistant. No, through him, they will please him to get the darshan, to get the benediction from the Supreme Lord. Not to, this is not the goal. This is not the goal. This is a problem of understanding. So, those who have proper medhasa, those who are properly intelligent, so they will do the things proper way. Even demigods are there, they will approach demigods. So, oh Indra, oh Chandra, oh Varuna, oh Ganesh, whatever, Shiva, Durga, so please help me, please bless me, that I can please Lord, I can help, I can serve Lord Krishna. So this is the proper way. You can respect them, you can worship them, you can approach them, there is not problem. But the moment you think that they are competitor, they are also Lord, like Krishna, then that is Alpamedhasa. Yes. So that's why Krishna is very clearly, systematically his teaching. In the verse number 22nd, he told that yo yo yang tanu bhakta sadhya architam ichchati. So those who are expecting, those who are wishing to worship demigods in a particular way, so all this, their faith and their way of worship and their whatever they want, so it's all mayeva vihitan hitan. From me, I am doing all these things. Giving them particular faith to the particular demigod, because they want that. Okay, you want to him, okay, take it. So Krishna is not forcing anybody. In this person we can say he is not forcing, because the love cannot be forcibly done. It is voluntary. Love and devotional service is not forcible. It is voluntary service. It is not forced service. Hey, my way or highway. No, not like that. The demigods are like that. But the Supreme Lord is not there. He is very gentle, and so that's why he is not forcing. Though he is the boss, he is giving, the demigods has no power, or they are getting only from him only. But still, he is not forcing. He is saying, what is up to you? You want to go to him, approach to him? Yes. He will not ask why even. No, I want to some big thing, see that something. Okay, you go. Okay. You want some paraphernalia? Okay, take this and go. Worship him, no problem. Krishna is giving everything. But he is not telling that, why you are going there? You should come to me. No. Krishna, but all sadhu, santa, shastra they are telling. Foolish man, why you are going there? Taking help from Krishna, you are going to demigod, they are so foolish. Rather, you should do opposite way. Take help from demigods and go to Krishna. But those who are alpamedhasa, those who are less intelligent, they can't understand that. They are doing that. So, that's why Krishna told that I am giving the faith, I am giving, helping them to worship according to their desire to the particular demigod. But, that's antabandh tu. Tu means but. But, immediately Krishna told, but, now what but? But, don't think that they will get the same result. Oh, no. They will not get the same result. Why? No, they have no intelligence. Why? No, because they are approaching demigods. Demigods are not permanent. They are post. The post finish, they are gone. They are not, how can they? They will go to him. So, those who are worshipping demigods, they cannot be compared with my worshippers. My worshippers are special. Somebody say, Baba, if you are the boss, why you are making impartiality? You are taking proper care of your party and you are not taking care of the other party. No, they are all yours now. Yes, all mine. All mine I know, but the proper way is to come to me. Why they are going there, if all mine? If I am the whole body, so the body has many organs, they are all part of body, but one particular part accept food, one particular part accept sound, one particular part accept the form, one particular part accept the smell. So like that, it is self-fixed. So I am the boss, I can give eternal, supreme, blissful things. So if you want, you can count me. If you go for demigods, that means you want temporary things. They don't have that power. That is not their department. No. So if you approach them, so that proves that you are less intelligent. You don't have proper intelligence, proper understanding. So Krishna himself very clearly says that what is the difference between demigod worshippers and worshippers of Krishna. What is the difference? The difference is that demigod worshippers, they will attain to the demigod, that planet only, which is quite temporary. And whatever achievement they will get, that is also temporary. But those who are worshipping Krishna, they will go to Krishna's planet, which is eternal and full of bliss. This is the difference. Krishna and demigod is different. The worshipper of demigod and worshipper of Krishna also different. The method may be same, faith and paraphernalia may be same. That doesn't matter. But matter is the why you are doing, your goal, your aim. If aim is Krishna, then that's it. The same paraphernalia, same mood, same tapasya, same fasting, same way. If your goal is to please Krishna, then that's it. Even if you come through a demigod or god or goddess or man or whatever, you can go through anything, but your goal should be pakka. This is the proper intelligence, proper understanding. If you have the right understanding, the right intelligence, then you will only aim at Krishna through many channels. That doesn't matter, but aim should be perfect to Krishna only. That's my goal. Somehow or other to please Krishna, to serve Krishna. Then through many ways, via medias you can do. But if the goal is different, then whatever you do, you will get help from Krishna only, but you cannot approach Krishna, you cannot get Krishna. Yes, that is called less intelligence. So that's why Krishna here very clearly brings out the difference and is in one way, in gentle language, Krishna is chastising that these people are really foolish, less intelligence. They are doing this severe austerity, puja, everything, but they will not achieve the good result. Bad result means they will get temporary, they will achieve temporary planet and achieve temporary benedictions, but they are not coming to me with these things. So that is less intelligent. That is less intelligence. If you have same paraphernalia, same body, same place, by that you can get the best thing, then go for the best. If approach that, if you can, suppose we have 10 rupees, and in market varieties of things are there. Something which is very beneficial to us, very helpful, very healthy, some food, something like that. And we are not getting it, and we are getting some glamour, some chakra, something like that, useless things, we will get that. So that is not proper intelligence, like that. The demigods, you can get immediate benefit, but temporary. And Krishna, you cannot get immediate, but little late, but will get eternal, permanent benefit. So now the choice is ours. If you have some intelligence, then go for that. Sreya and Preya, the two things. Krishna will never give Preya. Krishna is always giving Sreya. Sreya is that things which is helpful to us for eternal. Eternally it will be helpful to us. We will enjoy. And Preya means for some hours, for very little time. And then after that, reverse. You will get suffering. So that is called Preya. Just like we are eating fish, that fry pakoda. Oh, garam, this winter season, these pakodas are so tasty, you can eat like few of them. So then after that, oh, these fry things, I don't know, stomach is... So started suffering. But when you are eating, it is so tasty, enjoying. The same thing. The demigods, they can give some immediate result, but which is totally perishable and and they themselves are perishable. How they can get? But if you approach Krishna, it is not like that. Krishna is Shreya, eternal benefits, and there is no that some troubles are there. No, nothing is there. That's why in this Bhagavad Dharma, in this bhakti, there is no reactions. In other ways, there is reaction. Yeah. But it is foolproof and eternal. But still somebody is not doing this, so what they can be called? The less intelligence. Alpamedhasa. So that's why Krishna is very clearly pointing out that how they are less intelligence and how they are different from me and my worshippers. Demigods and demigod worshippers, they are totally different from me and my worshippers. Hare Krishna. Any question or comment?
This is sort of off topic, but
Okay.
I'm just curious, what's actually happening in India now with the, Hare Krishna movement? We have all of India, and still we don't see like that many people are full devotees. Like they're still involved in the different groups.
Demigod worshipping?
Huh?
Demigod worshipping?
Well, I don't know what they're doing, Hindu, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But how many percentage-wise do you think are
Followers of Krishna?
full-time, like, behind Prabhupada?
Very less. Very, very less. But still it is a comparison to sometime 10 years before or so, it is increasing like anything. Is increasing like anything, that I am saying. So that needs, we have to work, we have to preach, we have to approach them, reach them. Then they can understand. They don't have proper knowledge, less intelligence, that is the problem.
So in the other parts of India, they not so many devotees, so they don't get so much knowledge.
Yeah.
So there's really behind, it's a little slow,
Yeah.
but gradually.
Yeah.
What about the leaders?
Same thing. It is very difficult to say. They don't have time to hear also. Leaders, they are busy in their job. They are not reading, they are not hearing. So how they will understand? They are busy in their politics.
So they go there, devotees go there, but they can't get any.
Even if you go to them, they said, I have no time. I don't have time. Please. Take some donation and go. Please don't disturb me. Yes. So that's why Krishna said they are less intelligence. Getting a human body, and in India, it is not something ordinary.
Devotee?
Not ordinary.
He's a Vaishnava.
No, yeah, they can do much. They can at least success their life. But no intelligence, so they are after politics, after business, after
Got attached to all that fame.
all these things.
They should take the instruction of Prabhupada. Like,
They should. Sometimes nobody tell them, sometimes if somebody tell, they don't have time, they don't want to listen it. That's the problem. But still we have to try.
Deep-rooted desires.
Yeah, deep-rooted desire.
Then they will let them get out of it. Even if you explain so much,
Hmm.
then again you go back to the same.
Actually, it is very, very hard to change these people. Very hard. Those who are orthodox type of Hindu people, very hard to change them. But now the young people, those young generation, is busy If you tell them, they are accepting. Yes, yes, yes. But this,
They want clean slate.
yeah. Huh?
They want clean slate.
Yeah, clean slate. Yeah, exactly.
Those are already going into doing
Very
it.
difficult to change them.
Also,
Yeah.
some of them are afraid of that demigod will
They will take revenge upon us.
They are afraid to give up that.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, it is that if you worship Krishna, those demigods will be much more happy.
Yeah, they will become happy.
They want to worship Krishna.
Yeah, yeah.
They want to come back to earthly planet and
Yeah.
go back.
Yeah.
That part they do not know, or
Mm.
the preacher don't tell them.
One place, in many places, I go tell them, they say, okay, you are telling, so we will put Krishna in the top. And but since long time, in many our generations, we are worshipping this Durga and Shiva and all these, we are worshipping, what to do? We'll throw them away or what? No, not throw them away. Keep them also. For long time in your house, you are keeping them, respecting them. You keep them. Then how? Now keep Krishna in the top, keep them in the down, and worship only Krishna, offer bhoga to Krishna, and this prasad you offer to them. They will eat. Till now they have not eaten anything. They are fasting. But they can't eat bhoga, they have to eat prasad. So at least feed them something. Now they will eat, they will become so happy.
They will be more happy.
They will be more happy because they will get something to eat.
So what do you think Prabhupada's plan, what do you think his plan is like to try to like make the whole country?
Yeah, it's happening slowly. It will take time. Slowly, it is increasing, I am telling you. Each year it is increasing like anything. See, it is only, Prabhupada started this movement only 50 years before, isn't it? It's not that old, only 50 years. In these 50 years, at that time he started, how many in this Vrindavan temple, if you ask somebody, that in the whole day 20, 30 people may come. Not even that. Now, 20, 30 people only.
Before
In Prabhupada's time.
Prabhupada time.
Yeah. 50 years before, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But now, you can say, Mangala Arati time, difficult to pay offer obeisances at Suras. In 4:30 in January, in such a chill cold, people are coming.
Police will be cordon,
Yeah.
traffic coming in.
Yeah. So that means they're going. They're coming.
So ultimately, I mean, of course, Prabhupada's plan was to save the person from, repetition of birth and death. But
Yeah.
on a
So this will take
political
time. First they are coming, they are looking, then they are hearing the kirtan. And if they will hear the philosophy, they will read it and accept it, then they will change.
So on a
So
political,
slowly.
not political, but on a higher scheme,
Mm.
Prabhupada wanted to establish the Varnashram,
Yeah.
and then he wanted to set up so that
Yeah, the proper society, yeah.
everyone will be given some position.
Mm. That I don't know how long it will take.
And
That still it
they have to control,
yeah.
because you have different religions too,
Mm.
so you have to control that factor also.
Yeah, you all have to work on it. When it will happen, we have to hopeful.
But gradually, if Krishna consciousness is like 90, or say 80–90% of the population,
Mm.
the other religion will have to.
Yeah. Now you see the percentage, we have maybe not even 1%.
Population?
No, population is in India 150 crores.
No, I mean the population of devotees.
That's what I'm saying. If you compare to the population of India, how many devotees are there? Not even 1%.
Buddhism is very highest in India, right?
Buddhism is going on.
Tibet is very.
Yeah.
Which one?
Hmm?
Which one has the most?
India is always in top in book distribution.
Highest.
In book distribution, India is always in top.
Yeah, I mean, but which is the, like, as far as religions go?
So that's what I'm saying. Religion-wise, there are many religions in India. Many. cults. But now, comparison to other religions, this ISKCON movement is going very fast.
It's prominent now.
Yeah, prominent.
People are asking, what is
Yes,
this?
in all main towns and city and villages, it is prominent. It's
Even
going.
Muslim people are asking,
Yeah, yeah.
who are these ISKCON people?
Yeah.
Like, what?
But still a long way to go. We have to work on it. Hare Krishna.
They go faster than we think.
We can only become hopeful, that's it.
Because things are becoming so chaotic in the
Mhm.
world.
Yeah.
People are looking.
As Kali progresses,
Yeah.
after 10,000 years it's going to be diminishing.
Exactly.
So that is the characteristic of Kali.
Yeah. So whatever we can do within 10,000 years. Already 5,000 gone, another 5,000 years. So whatever will happen. That's it. Yeah.
So India will come first.
Hmm?
India
Yeah,
will
of
come
course.
first. And then other.
Yeah. Hare Krishna.
So India will be a powerful force in the world.
Yeah, that's for sure.